1, 2, let's hear how this goes, and jamming on the beats of Mr. Steven Ignoramus. I think it's time to start this show. Good morning and welcome to Ed's World, where it's always morning, even in the afternoon. I am your host, Jay Edgar. We're coming in with a little bit of teaser beats from Steven Ignoramus over here. I'm joined today by the owner of Freedom Scoop and somebody who I have had the privilege of calling personal friend for a very long time at this point here. Jake, welcome back to Ed's World.
Happy to be here.
It's been a while since you've been on here, but you were the actual first live stream guest on this show when we did the test stream.
Well, hopefully I won't be the last.
No, absolutely not. I've got some good shows coming up in the near future. Britt from Tweets by Britt on Twitter is going to be coming up next week, and who do I have after that? I think Jessica Green is coming on after that, and then I will have Mrs. RRC coming on.
Look, it's like you got Senator Rand Paul on the 23rd, President Donald Trump on the 4th. You got this guy, Bolsonaro. I don't know who he is. Coming up on the 7th. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we're that high profile yet, but we're trying to get there anyway.
Someday soon. Yeah.
Anyway, this is Ed World. My name is Jay Edgar, where it's always morning, even the afternoon.
And that's again, your real name, too.
Yeah, I just got kicked off of Quora for not using my real name.
Pesky Quora.
Well, they let me back on, and they invited me to the partner program, so I'm actually getting paid by Google now, so that's kind of fun.
Google employee?
Apparently.
Look at you. Oh.
It's not much, but it's a little something coming in. But we do have we do have a packed show coming on in tonight, and we do apologize for the late start here. I'm sure that you'll have a little anecdote about your meeting here, but let's go over what we're going to talk about today. 2020 has been a huge topic this week, so we're probably going to spend the majority of the show in that. Everything from the New Hampshire primary on to Bloomberg teasing Hillary being his running mate, on to Virginia joining the Popular Vote Compact. We're going to hit it all, and then in the remaining 15 minutes of the show, we'll talk about some other topics. Impeachment is getting ready for round 2, so we'll talk a bit about what's going on there and talk about the Friday night massacre of the firing of the Vindman brothers and maybe even a short-lived story about Mar-a-Lago expenditures. There's been some violence against some Trump supporters this week. We've had the Jacksonville man who took on the Florida man moniker and drove his van into a tent. And, of course, the Antifa member up in New Hampshire that slapped the underage boy. We'll talk about that and some more going on. Coronavirus continues to rip through China and even get over to our country here. So we'll talk a bit about that as well. And finally, we've got some videos to close out the show. Most notably, we'll be talking about Samantha Bee's fuse with PragerU and the Russian pranksters who decided to prank call Bernie Sanders. It's going to be all of this and more over on Ed's World. Thanks for checking us out live over on DLive, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. No Facebook. I'm still getting zucked because I guess he doesn't want me to give out my radical ideas over on his platform. So we won't be transmitting to Facebook, but if you're on Periscope...
You radical constitutionalist, how dare you?
It is hit or miss on the live chat, so head on over to that YouTube, DLive, or Twitch link to go and chat in live chat and get your questions answered, of course. If you can't catch us live and you want to catch us on the go, you can catch us back on replay on YouTube or over on BitChute.com if it ever processes. I've been having problems with that lately here. Or you can catch us on the audio platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And if you're over on iTunes, leave us that 5-star rating and a good review. That helps us move up the charts. Lastly, Ed's World is proudly partnered with the Freedom Scoop Media Group, whose owner is sitting over there to my left. If you want to check out some great programs with some changes coming up in the near future, check us out over on freedomscoop.com, where you can also check out The Generational Gap. You can also check out Steven Ignoramus on his live streams, which happen for 7 to 10 hours a day, every day. So go over there and check that out.
7 to 10 hours every day.
That guy's a machine.
He is an animal. And you can buy a beer koozie. All proceeds go to benefit Ed's World. seriously, if you buy a beer koozie, all proceeds will go to benefit Ed's World today.
What's that, like 79 cents?
I don't know. They're not for sale yet, but when we get them for sale, I should put them up for sale one of these days.
Well, after the lengthy introduction here, we always like to hear about the guest. You were actually technically the first live stream guest on this show because you helped me do a test stream after we did our last pre-recorded stream. But now that you're here live, and hopefully we'll get some audience participation coming in the near future, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, so I am Jake from Freedom Scoop. I don't wear khakis. I like long walks on the beach. Yeah, and so I recently changed career paths radically from being a news guy like this and running a construction company and a t-shirt business and I don't know, 5 other things to full-time. I am the regional director for the GOP. So I manage the Northwestern section for the GOP. I run about 15, 16 different campaigns, everything from the Trump presidency all the way down to the local officials, your local House districts, which are incredibly crucial and nobody talks about. So I recently transferred over into that. We're going to be getting out there, hitting the streets and making sure that the right people are in charge. Well, you guys are in charge, ultimately, the people, but the right people are in office, I guess I should say. So that's about me. I had a meeting from about 3:00 till recently with a student group. We are forming a semi-national group. It is called the United Students for America. It's going to be pretty fantastic. We're going to start it small and grow. Our first event, we're hosting the Grand Charlie Kirk. If you know Charlie Kirk, we're going to have Charlie Kirk in Kalispell, Montana. And everybody has mixed feelings about him. Some people really love him. Some people really hate him. But that's all right. I think he doesn't mind either because that's America. You have the right to love or hate whoever you want.
Didn't we have a conversation on Discord about this? Well,
I
went on R-rated conservative last week.
Yeah, so we're going to be hosting a Charlie Kirk event. It's going to be pretty. I don't know. I think it'll be good. We're filling the largest ballroom in town. We're going to sell tickets. It'll be great. But either way, all proceeds go to support the local Republican chapter. So the Republican Central Committee is hosting this. It'll be a good event. We're hoping to sell about, 800 tickets or so. For a town about 100,000, that's pretty good if you sell 800 tickets. So, so that's our first event. Announcements. Right? Are we doing announcements yet?
I did some announcements there, but if you've got anything else to go along, let's...
I've got one. So, because I've taken this new position, I have to abdicate the throne. And you now have a new chief editor of freedomscoop.com. That is Mr. Ed over there. He is the chief editor. He will be taking over all of my operations, hopefully.
Well, hopefully I'll have a good enough teacher as we go along as well, because some of the stuff is going to be new to me. Some of it's old hat to me, and some of it is going to be brand new to me. So,
you just got to make sure that everybody likes everybody, and if they don't, who cares? It's pretty easy.
Oh.
So, Wyatt Birkenhoff, Wyatt over there.
Yep.
Wyatt is officially being posted publicly on Freedom Scoop, every video he uploads.
Good deal.
Officially. We're going to do like an official, more formal thing. And I've got a couple more, I don't know what you call them, content contributors that are reaching out right now. And I'm hoping that we can get them tied in, and I'll get you all their contact info.
Yeah, we can do all that off mic, so.
Yeah. Oh, man. Of course. Naturally. I know. You're like, let's just get on with the show. So
we've got a lot, so.
So that's me. How I get into alt media? Well, I like everything that is not. I don't know. I just kind of got into it. I love it. It's awesome. I got people like Ed, people like Steven, people like the Jen Gap, people like Wyatt, people like that foul-mouthed, alrighty conservative guy, who are really big inspirations. And I think that we're building a movement, behind the scenes. We have so many people that are really getting engaged and getting into it. And yeah, it's the future. Alt media is the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I do hope that we get a decent alliance going along with the Pete Santilli show and his crew over there. I know that we've got the in with the R-rated conservative, and looks like all of our hosts are going to be making an appearance over there. I'll talk to him, see if he'll get you on there. I bet you that would be a good one.
Is that his real name, Pete?
No, I actually know what his real name is, and he's made it public, but I'm not comfortable making it public out there. But
I hear you.
no,
I hear you. I thought you said Pete, and I was like, Pete.
Pete Santilli is another show that they've kind of networked together the way that we have with Freedom Scoop and Stephen Ignoramus. So.
Okay. All right, Ed, nail them down. Tie them all together. Get those guys under one banner because we need to build this movement. All right, so.
Before we get into topics here, we'll check with the live chat here. It looks like Yama Fagoa is in here and says that he knows these guys. Yama Fagoa is going to be appearing on R-Rated Conservative, and as soon as this show cuts live, we are going to be going straight over there. I know we're probably going to miss the very intro, but we'll be going straight over there. That's going to be a good interview. I always love being on the R-Rated Conservative. And Ron Helton is here. Yeah, we did just start. Somebody had a meeting that was going on a little bit later than what we all anticipated on Saturdays. So, yeah, we started at, 7:32? So
something like that. Well, 6:32 my time. So, hey, you're an hour ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So there you go. We'll just move the time zone.
Absolutely. And we will circle back and check with the live chat here. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves and ask questions. We always answer questions on this show, so make sure you get them in here. And if you guys talk enough in there, we'll pop the chest at the end of all this too. I got about 1.9 in there. I need to have 5 to pop it. So,
what's a chest?
What do you do? Chest.
Oh, the DLive chest. Okay. I'm watching YouTube right now because you're employed by Google, so I want to make sure that we can, support them. Right? Go Google. Woo.
Go Google. I have 2 devices going, and neither one of them are using a Google stream. So
shame.
It is a shame.
I'm supporting them. I want to make sure that, they're just a small fledgling startup company, and we need to make sure that they get the viewership. That this YouTube thing is really new. It's young, it's spry. Yeah, build them, right?
That's right. Well,
right, Yama.
Let's start with 2020 watch here. Usually I don't do this first topic here, but there's just so fucking much this week.
Oh, man.
So let's start out with the New Hampshire primaries. So the results did not take as long to get in on the New Hampshire primaries they have in Iowa because we have definitive results from New Hampshire, and there's still not 100% of precincts reporting in Iowa yet. But according to the vote count on the top 4, we have Bernie Sanders on a slim margin on the top in a state that he was supposed to take walking away with 9 delegates and 25.7% of the vote, followed closely by Pete Buttigieg, also with 9 delegates, 24.4% of the vote. Amy Klobuchar walks away with 6 delegates at 19.8%, and Elizabeth Warren, from the neighboring state as well, walks away with 9.2% of the vote. Now, one of the things you brought up on this, and we were talking about this over on the Generational Gap Discord, is the fact of all of the other people that were on the list that you had never heard of before. And you actually had some interesting backstories for a few of them. I was quite enjoying that. So, yeah, that was interesting to see because they did count and report all of the write-ins for this. What was your take on the results from this, though, especially given the narrow, razor-thin margin that Bernie Sanders had?
Well, if you got to have my take, I think that everybody needs to go out tomorrow and buy a fire extinguisher. Because Bernie's people are going to riot. Okay, the fact that Buttigieg beat out Bernie in New Hampshire is amazing. Okay, I mean, Bernie practically lives in New Hampshire. And it's so close. It's so close to I mean, it's gonna hit hard to home. Okay, Nevada has never been a very crucial state, and at this point in the race, it seems like Nevada is the deciding factor. Nevada's always been one of the first four, but nobody really paid attention to it, and we're going to see a big shift in influence in how Nevada plays out, especially down ballot and later on in the race. Super Tuesday is going to come by, and Bloomberg is projected to win, but what do we do if Buttigieg is taking the first 3 or 4 states? Are you going to vote Bloomberg, or are you going to vote Buttigieg?
Or are you going to?
No. I know. But on Super Tuesday, what are the Democrats going to do? What are they thinking? And Nevada has its chance to shine. I mean, if Nevada goes Buttigieg, then you know that he's got a solid chance. But if Nevada goes, let's say, Warren or Klobuchar, which Klobuchar did surprisingly well in New Hampshire. I mean, I know a lot of people thought she was going to do well, but nobody even knows who she is. So if Nevada goes Klobuchar, Nevada goes Bernie, we could see this race shift dramatically. I mean, especially going into the following week. So I think New Hampshire was a pretty startling reminder that anything could happen,
And that has been the amazing thing, too, because, I mean, we sit back and watch the polls for the last few weeks. I've had the RCP average up every week, and seeing what they thought from their polling was going to be what was sitting up on front. I stopped doing that because they've got it so wrong thus far into this. I mean, where is a good old Uncle Sniffendiddle at this point?
How was 16, though, with them?
That's true. Well, RCP actually was pretty on the nose with that, especially Reuters. Reuters was the one that was the closest, and I know that's one of the aggregates that they use for RCP.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I don't know. I think the super delegates kind of play a huge role in this, and then the fact that there's a huge section of the Democrat Party that does not want Bernie to win. I think it was just kind of a given. We all thought Joe Biden was going to do some miraculous numbers in Iowa and in New Hampshire. And we found that people really didn't like Biden as much as we thought.
Right.
For the better or for the worse, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't like Biden, but they didn't, and they went with somebody like Buttigieg, who's young and energetic. I mean, Buttigieg is like, he embodies a lot of the same characteristics that Obama did. Change, something new, something different. Not the old guard, which I think a lot of people are shying away from, is this old guard, this 30-year politician like the Nancy Pelosi's. And Biden represents that. So it's kind of nice to see somebody fresh. And I think that's why a lot of people jump on the Buttigieg bandwagon.
Now, where do you think superdelegates play into this? Because I already know there's been reporting that says that if Bernie Sanders gets the nomination, then the DNC is going to go all out to bone him. Which I think what happened in Iowa might have played something into that.
Nevada is going to be just as big of a cluster as Iowa, but they probably already wrote the Nevada results. They know who's going to win. So, but I mean, if you look at it, they were supposed to use the same platform that they did in Iowa, and when they canned that platform, now they've scrambled and come up with a new one. Ultimately, I think the super delegates come down to how Super Tuesday pans out. If Bloomberg walks away with it on Super Tuesday, super delegates are going to jump straight into the Buttigieg basket. Okay. Because the thing is it's looking like they're going to go to a convention, right? We're going to see a convention, a Democrat convention, and they're going to have to battle it out. It's going to be a battle royale of Bloomberg saying, "Hey, I've got 60 billion in the bank, and my VP is Hillary Clinton." And then you're going to see Sanders saying, "Hey, you can't steal my election again." And it's going to be fun. I don't know. I'm going to be entertained either way.
Well, let's talk about Bloomberg for a second here. I'll move around the topics that I've got on the schedule here a bit. But let's talk about Bloomberg because you brought it up here. And I mean, I when they first started talking about Bloomberg entering the race and the fact that he was buying up all these ads, I thought you guys were fucking with me because I had not seen a Bloomberg ad. Now, I was in Snapchat one day and bored, half asleep because that's what I do on Saturday when I work early. I was looking at, some of those stories that they have on the Discover page, and one of those was Disney stars that are much older than you thought that they were. Spoiler alert, I actually knew most of those were the ages that they were, but I mean, Disney has a big habit of having adults play kid roles because, SAG and union and all that crap. But what I did notice was that between every single Disney star that they showed on that list, which was 10 of them, I got a different Bloomberg ad. 10 different Bloomberg ads in a half an hour. So
because
he is buying up the airspace.
People who watch Disney also watch Bloomberg?
I know he's got the media company, but I've been seeing it on YouTube now too. I don't have network TV, so I don't watch any network TV. I don't know what he's doing on network TV, but...
So I'm watching the... kill me for this. What is it? The Daytona. Sorry, I almost said Indianapolis. So I'm watching Daytona yesterday. Actually, it was last year's Daytona yesterday because of the rain delay and all that. But we know why there was rain. Clearly, global warming and climate change.
Leftist cheers.
No, it's climate change from the cars racing around the track at 10 million miles an hour. All the pollutants caused the rain.
I thought it was leftist cheers from the fact that the Donald got to do his beginning lap.
I don't know, but God bless this country. That was great. That was the coolest thing ever, And then afterwards, I don't remember if it was Amendola or Hamlin. Somebody tweeted out pictures of them meeting Trump and talking about how great it was to meet him and how he came back and he he met all the people, signed autographs, and walked up to some of the people that were racers and just said hi. Like, how are you? What do you think? Are you going to do well? Like a real human being, just this interaction that's just so genuine. And I think that's what people miss in politics is that genuine interaction. And we're seeing it for the first time in years now, that humanism. But I'm off track.
We were talking about Bloomberg ads.
Bloomberg ads. So I'm watching Daytona. And Trump's on my TV going, I'm going to drive around the track and all that. All of a sudden, commercial break comes on, and there's a Bloomberg ad. And we're back to racing, or the one lap they did. And there's another Bloomberg ad over and over. And I was like, what is going on here? I mean, obviously, the people watching the Daytona 500 are not Bloomberg people. So I don't know if it was a targeted approach by Bloomberg to try to hit Floridians maybe watching Daytona or just cleave off a point or two of Trump supporters or give them a thought that maybe there's another option. But all across the country in order to do that, in order to get that. And it's rather interesting,
Well, I know he is sinking massive money into this, and he gave a big donation to the DNC, so they're actually changing the rules for the debate so he gets on to the next debate. Which I don't know really how to feel about that. I'm not going to lie.
I want to see Bloomberg in a debate. I really do. I think that it's really going to be enlightening, and we're going to see a whole different. We're going to see a whole different Mike. It's going to change. It's going to change the dynamics for sure. I mean, so does Biden go out and full-fledged attack Mike, or does he kind of back off and try to be the bigger guy? Or does Bloomberg go off and try to cleave off some Bernie supporters by attacking him? I don't know. It's going to be fun, though.
Well, I know Bernie's already gone on the full attack mode against Bloomberg because a billionaire shouldn't have the right to buy an election.
No, they're like it's like the Penguin and Joker fighting each other. Okay? And it's rather interesting. It's going to be super entertaining because Sanders, a wealthy upper class individual in Vermont, says, I hate wealthy upper class individuals in Vermont. And Bloomberg is like he's sitting there going, I am the richest guy up here. I swear I am. And it's a battle between the guy who wants to take your wealth and the guy who has the wealth but wants to tell you that he wants to take somebody else's wealth. You know, I mean, I don't know. Hypocrisy to me is funny, but it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting.
So my question there, because you brought up the dynamic of Joker versus the Penguin, which is actually a fairly apt comparison between Bernie and Bloomberg. But which would you rather see then? The big battle between the Joker and the Penguin, or the two guys that sit in the balcony on the Muppet Show?
Ooh.
Because that's the fight that we thought we were getting this year.
Okay, if we were going to do the Muppet Show ones, I'd definitely take Waldorf. Huh. Waldorf is definitely the champion in the Muppet Show battle. Yeah, everybody's like, who the heck is Waldorf? Well, he's one of the Muppets. I swear. Yeah, so I don't know. I think the Bernard is going to do pretty good. I don't think he's going to end up with the nomination. I really was kind of silently cheering for the Warren because, I mean, could you just imagine? Just imagine the Trump Warren debate. It would be awesome, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's. I don't know. I think Bloomberg's going to end up going to a split convention, and the Democrats are going to have a war. So that's where I see it. I see it as a Democrat war. We'll see. I mean, you could have riots in the streets from Bernie supporters getting shafted again. I don't see the DNC in a brokered convention putting Bernie through. I don't see it. Not unless Bernie wins Nevada and Bernie wins Carolina. You know, he would have to pick up some huge states. But Bloomberg doesn't poll well with the African American community.
Right. Stop and frisk.
Yeah, he doesn't poll well with, I don't know, not so many of the lower income individuals. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But then again, Sanders doesn't poll great with the African American community, and neither does Biden. So, I mean, really, they're splitting the vote right there because everybody's having to hold their noses. I mean, this huge cross section of America is having to go, I guess we like one of these guys, and they don't really like any of them. You know, I don't know. At this point, it's what's that kid on the Simpsons? The kid who's in love with Lisa Simpson. You know who I'm talking about?
Milhouse.
Milhouse. Okay. Right now, the Democrats are Milhouse. Okay, and the presidency is Lisa Simpson, and they are trying, and Lisa Simpson does something like, you know, Trump does something that makes them get a little bit of hope. You know, they do, oh, we can maybe take this. Maybe Lisa will date us. And she never does. She never does. So, yeah, they're not. It's rough. It would be a rough time to be a Democrat. I'm sorry. But that's really where it's at. So, rough time to be a Democrat.
Well, the field has tightened up a little bit this week as a result of New Hampshire coming up, and we're going to talk a bit about each one of these candidates in what I have determined the order from least important to most important to the race. So, first off, Michael Bennet. So long. Do you know who Michael Bennet is?
Michael Bennet is the Colorado guy.
That's more than I know about him.
I believe. So he is the Colorado guy. And his claim to fame is he shares the name with a guy on the Seahawks, Michael Bennet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
it.
That's pretty much it.
That's his whole campaign.
Slightly more consequential, one of the latest entries to the race has decided to back out. Former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick has decided that he is going to suspend his campaign due to the fact that nobody outside of New England knows who the fuck Deval Patrick is.
I don't even think people in New England know who Deval Patrick is. Like, I mean, did you see the New Hampshire results? Like 4 people voted for him, and it was a mistake. So,
and it was a mistake. That's the best part.
They thought they were voting for St. Patrick or something like that. They're like, oh yeah, St. Patrick, we'll take him.
Well, I know Deval Patrick was actually really instrumental in getting Obama elected, so I know he had some of the fame that came along with that, and I know that that was part of what he was trying to do to.
So tell me this, Ed. If Deval Patrick didn't exist in Obama's campaign, would Obama have been elected?
Probably.
I think Deval Patrick was probably angling himself this session up for like an energy secretary position, or some sort of a political figure inside of like a Warren administration. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he had any hopes. I mean, it was like we had Bullock here in Montana that decided to run, and Bullock got a whole whopping 0.5% of a vote left, So, yep.
Well, those are the two that nobody knows about here, but one that's actually caused some ripples in this entire race, and we'll talk about why in a second here, is that Mr. UBI himself, Mr. Mathpin himself, Andrew Yang, has decided that he does not have the wherewithal, the stamina, or the money to go forward with his campaign. So
sad. Poor Yang. Yang says, I want to pay all you guys $1,000. I'm going to give every single one of you $1,000. $1,000. Every one of you gets $1,000. You hear this? This is like Price is Right. $1,000 to each of you. 1,000. That's more than 999. Let me tell you something. Okay, so if I gave you $999 and added one, that would be the $1,000 that I'm going to give you when you vote me into office. And everybody was like, that sounds cool. Nah. I don't get it.
Well, the thing with Yang is he was able to manipulate the numbers around in his ad buy to make it look like he actually knew what the hell he was talking about. Because there are a lot of people that believed what he was talking about and were very viciously defensive of it, especially after debates on Twitter.
Yang is a really smart man. Now, like, what's that guy up in New Hampshire that actually took a huge chunk of the vote that we were just talking about?
Bernie Sanders?
No. He has a funny name. Yeah, look, you got the results up for New Hampshire?
No, I just had that one clip.
I'll pull it up. Anyway, so Yang like literally offered to give everybody money, and nobody did it. Like nobody voted for him, and I really don't know why. I don't know. All right, Bernie Sanders and Klobuchar. Okay, we need to see polling results. Okay, I'm going to results. I'll come up with his name, and you'll go, "Oh yeah, that guy." Huh. Okay. He's a weird name. One that you go, "Oh yeah, I've heard of that guy." But for some reason, I cannot find him. He was a write-in candidate. Took a huge chunk of the vote.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'll give why I say this is actually causing some ripples in here, because top trending on the day after Yang decided he wasn't going to run anymore was hashtag still voting for Yang. And I actually got one of those guys to kind of get in agreement with me on this here, talking about why I still support Trump based on his freshman status. Because let's face it, I mean, with Trump running, that opened the door for people like Andrew Yang to run, people who had no political experience.
All right, so here's the deal. Wikipedia is just super biased.
No way!
Yeah, like I'm trying to pull up the New Hampshire results, and they have all the Democrats, but they have nobody but that's not a Democrat.
I think the clip I got was from CNN, and that still had all the candidates on it.
Well, that had 60 candidates, but not the independent results.
Or the write-ins, I should say.
Well, the write-ins. Well, I had those too. I just want to see the New Hampshire primary. Maybe the Honorable New York Times. Maybe they have it. I'm looking for them. I don't know. They don't seem to have it either. Anyways, So there's this guy that offered to give everybody a pony. Okay. Like literally, he said, "I'm going to give everybody a pony," and he had some name like Dick Dastardly or something like that. Totally funny. You know, you totally think it's made up, but he got like a ton of votes. Maybe I can just Google "give everybody a pony" candidate.
I don't know.
Now it's on my brain because I want to find out who this guy is. Oh, Vermin Supreme.
Oh, I've heard of that. I didn't know about the pony thing, but I had heard of that. I know he was a libertarian candidate for a while.
Yeah, he's a libertarian. Okay, so Vermin Supreme. His name is Vermin Love Supreme. What a name. Born in 1961, he was an American performance artist and activist. He's run as a candidate in state, local, and national elections. Okay, he is known for wearing a boot on his hat. You should pull up a picture and throw this up, Ed, because he is a character.
That Vermin will kill my computer if I try. Otherwise, I would.
Oh man. Okay, so I wonder if I can do it. So Vermin Supreme is fantastic. Well, maybe not, but anyways, he is a really funny candidate, and he offered to give everybody a pony. Said, "You all need ponies, so you get a pony, and you get a pony." And a lot of people voted for him, but essentially Yang was Vermin Supreme, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
He said, "I'm going to give everybody $1,000," and everybody went, "Okay, I like that." You know. All right, so I'm going to pull up a picture of the Vermin. Now I don't know how to make this big.
I don't know. You can do share screen though, so, but you have frozen up on my side.
I've frozen up on your side.
Mm-hmm. I still have audio, but you've your image is frozen.
Am I back?
No.
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 Well, apparently doing 3 things at once kills my computer.
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't try to add something onto the roster midstream.
All right, fine. I will not add a pony. A picture of Vermin Supreme.
Everybody gets a pony.
Can you see me?
You're still frozen.
Unfreeze me, please.
Kill your camera and see if that works. Hey, now I'm talking to myself.
On camera. This is a live studio production, so I think you can see me now, right?
Yeah, I can. You're moving again.
All right. So I won't show you a picture of Vermin Supreme. I mean, I could maybe, but it would be very awkward. Let's try this.
Oh.
Okay.
We got
so here.
Oh, go ahead.
This is Vermin Supreme. He has a boot on his head. Vermin Supreme. He wants to give everybody a pony. That's it. That's all we got. That's all I got.
Yeah. I've got some more stuff here.
All right.
So let's talk about why nobody likes Joe Biden anymore, and that's because he has this amazing ability on stage to tell people not to vote for him if they're not going to get behind him 100%. Including, he decided, and I don't know what the details are behind this. I didn't do enough homework on this particular news story, but everybody at work has been talking about it, and that is the fact that he decided that he was going to call a woman to her face a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Mm-hmm. One of his constituents at a Biden rally. This is the best story of the year. So, you've got somebody who comes to your rally, is standing underneath a banner that is like 10 feet tall that says, "Joe." And she says, "Mr. Biden, big fan. Look, I just want to ask you, I know you lost Iowa, but is that going to affect New Hampshire?" Like, that's an honest question.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, you didn't do so well. Do you think you're going to do good in this next state?" And his reply is, "Well, a little messy. Have you ever been to a caucus?" And she says, yes, I have." And he goes, "No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier." Like, where did that come from? It doesn't make any. Anyways, so, yeah. So, essentially, don't stand under a Joe Biden banner and say, "Hey, Joe, I really love you. I really support you. I just want to know if you're going to do better next week." He'll call you a liar. and cast you out of his constituency. Do you think she voted for him?
No, God, no.
Like, I mean, seriously, national TV, you're all over the place, and Joe Biden just called you a lion dog-faced pony soldier at a Joe Biden rally. Do you go out and vote for Joe Biden, or are you like, man, I'm voting for Warren or whoever, Buttigieg? Or, I mean, no wonder he came in
Supreme.
Vermin Supreme. So, yeah.
Oh. And then he tried to backpedal this, saying that he was trying to quote from a John Wayne movie, and he couldn't even fucking get that right.
It wasn't a John Wayne quote, though.
I know.
Like, oh my God. It's so ridiculous. If it was an actual John Wayne quote, that'd be different. You know, like if John Wayne said, "You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier for going to the caucus and voting," you know, but John Wayne never said that. So, I don't know. It was like, I compare it to Obama's arugula moment. Do you remember Obama's arugula moment?
I've heard of this, but I don't know what it is.
So Obama's talking to a bunch of Iowan farmers and telling them, "Oh, if you go down to the grocery store and you buy some arugula," and all the people are like, "What? What's arugula?" He's like, "It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable that I eat." And nobody knows what arugula is. I mean, it's like kale. It's, you know,
I do.
$95 a pound. I mean, seriously, it's one of the most expensive things you can buy. Like, should I buy some gold or invest in an arugula farm? You know,
I would go with the arugula farm.
Yeah, seriously. Profit margins on arugula must be sky high, especially with all these slurpy kale drinkers out there. But yeah, so Obama went out and said arugula, and nobody knows what arugula is. Yeah. Talk about talking down to your audience. So, well, LOL, says the Ron Helton. How are you, Ron? Hanging in there on the D Live?
Oh, if you go over on the D Live, he's got his dance stickers going. Saint, if you get over there too, he's got. I think Ron just goes through these streams and collects stickers from other people, but he's got a dance party. He's going to start going.
I'm looking down on my screen, and looking down at me, looking down on my screen, looking down on my screen.
It's looking down on your screenception.
Yeah, it's like some weird Matrix paradox there.
Well, let's look down ballot for a little bit here. We've talked about the top enough on this show, especially over the last year. We've talked enough about the top of the ticket here. Let's look down ballot here now.
Wait. I just want to establish something. Who is at the top of the Democratic ballot right now?
Currently, does anybody know?
I don't even think half of America knows who Buttigieg is. Seriously.
Did you see the clip of the lady at Iowa that said that she wanted to change her vote once she found out he was gay?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw. That's crazy. Tim Pool had a selection on that one.
You bigot.
So, yep. Bloomberg has decided, actually, he's decided now. It's confirmed that he hasn't decided to do this yet by CNN. I looked into that today. But there were talks coming out of Breitbart and Daily Mail that Bloomberg was going to name Hillary Clinton as his potential running mate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, part of the reason behind this was it was shown that statistically, the two of them on the top of the ticket, and I don't know how the hell they cooked their numbers for this, but the two of them at the top of the ticket would guarantee a victory over Trump. Bloomberg, of course, would have to move out of New York to make this happen as well.
Some insider baseball. So what they did is they took Bloomberg's numbers. They said, Bloomberg, what's the likelihood that you'll win the Democratic nomination? And Bloomberg's numbers said, if we go to convention, 96%. Then they said, Hillary, after convention, if you're the VP, what do your numbers say that we will win the election? And she says, 120% we will win. Mm-hmm. And Bloomberg says, I like those numbers. I'm picking you. Pretty much. That's how the math works. Hillary says she'll win 120%, and they believe her. They did in 16. That worked really well for her.
Yeah. Well, both of them have a large amount of money invested in the DNC at this point, too, so.
Oh, yeah. Monster amounts of money. I mean, yeah. I mean, millions upon millions upon millions. I mean, basically Bloomberg just goes out and throws 1.5 million tickets to all of these congressional candidates over and over and over, letting them win, and says, all right, now you support me in this election. He's gotten so when he was running for mayor of New York, it was a really highly influential pastor that was against him. And it was a downtown Bronx church that had a huge following, and he needed to pick up that specific endorsement. Well, he couldn't get it. His competitor, however, had the endorsement, had it picked up. Well, the competitor calls up to say, hey, I need you to come out and support me. And the pastor says, oh, well, sorry, I've already thrown my support behind somebody else, being Michael Bloomberg. And he says, well, what happened? And he says, well, Bloomberg just funded our $1.5 million shortfall in our budget. So I have to support Bloomberg for mayor. And so Bloomberg gets the evangelical vote and ends up taking the election essentially in New York. And he's done that historically. I mean, he hasn't been a super influential figure, but we see that in the media. He would throw out these chunks of cash here and there and get certain influential figures to interview on his news stations, his news programs, and they would endorse his program, or they would endorse his reporting because of that. And he did the same thing with mayor, and now he's trying to do the same thing with the presidency. Sort of use his wealth. You know, exactly what they accused President Trump of doing, except President Trump didn't spend any money. I mean, he won with no budget. I mean, like, I bet you one of these guys, like we were talking about, Senator of Colorado, what's his name, that has the same name as the Seahawks guy that nobody knows his name,
Bennett.
I bet you Bennett has the same budget as Trump spent in 2016. You know, I mean, seriously, it was super low.
Yeah.
And it was totally like, you want a grassroots movement, you want a Bernie Sanders movement, look at Trump's 2016 campaign. It was great. I mean, yeah, his main expense was like security and flying around to visit all of his people that were going, oh yeah, mega. Hey, you want to see my mega cup, by the way? Okay, so this side says "Make America Great Again." Okay, and then this side says Roman, apparently.
I don't know if it's Roman or you just have some stuff peeling off of it.
I don't know, and an A. It's actually like I bought this from one of those vendors at one of the events that were sitting on the side selling cups and hats and whatnot. You know, I don't know if you've ever been to a mega rally, but they've got all these vendors. There's these people selling T-shirts and hats and whatnot. It's a carnival. You know, it's a total carnival. And I bought 2 of them for like $10 each. And I took one home. And the first one I threw in the dishwasher, and the next day it was like all peeling and chipping and cracking. I'm like, oh. And then this one I used and abused, and all my letters started falling off. And I'm like, what in the heck? And then I flipped it over, and I was like, "Make America Great, made in China." Like, oh,
China.
Okay. It's China. To make America great in China again. So, yeah, China is in some trouble right now, though. We don't talk about China.
Well, there's some insider. You had talked about some insider baseball with the Bloomberg thing, but there was some other things that were discussed with the idea of Hillary running, because Hillary is officially a resident of New York, and per the 12th Amendment, both the president, the vice president, and the electors cannot all reside in the same state. So Bloomberg was actually planning on moving to one of his other homes in Colorado to run for president if they were going to do this. However, CNN, as I mentioned before, has confirmed that they are not at this time planning on pursuing this. But that didn't stop the memes, of course.
And I bet you that they denied it because they realized all the Trump publicans were like, yeah, run! Get that Hillary on your ticket! And Bloomberg goes, huh. Maybe this isn't the greatest idea I've ever had. Why are they cheering for me? But that's what I would say. But yeah, I think that Bloomberg and the Hillary ticket would be one for the ages. That would be great. What I wonder is, does Hillary live in Chappaquiddick? Is that where she's at? No, she's up north in upstate New
Seneca Falls, I
York.
think.
Ah, okay. So she's in upstate. So Bloomberg's got houses all over the place. I mean, he can change his residency pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he hadn't why he didn't just switch. I don't know. I don't know. I think that would be really interesting because he's not a Florida guy, but if he moves to Florida, he could say he was a Florida guy and try to pick up that swing state.
Florida man.
No, Florida man. I think it would be more beneficial for Bloomberg to pick up maybe like a Harris. A Bloomberg Harris ticket. Okay? Because yeah, that would be a dangerous ticket, a Bloomberg Harris ticket, because then you get, man, somebody is just going crazy. Oh, it's Discord. Discord going blah 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 blah. Anyway, so yeah, I think a Bloomberg Harris ticket would be the best for Bloomberg. You know, I mean, as far as I can tell. Well, what do you think?
I could understand what the strategy was behind this, and this could be something that came from the memes. Let's say that for sure. Snopes put out this fact check almost immediately after the announcement was semi-made that Hillary was going to be running. They're fact checking the fact that did State Farm officially cancel Bloomberg's insurance over Hillary's VP announcement?
What? State Farm officially canceled Bloomberg's insurance?
No, it turned out to be the website Printly, a parody site, posted this headline out that State Farm was to cancel Bloomberg's insurance over the announcement, of course, citing the fact that he was planning on committing suicide. And Snopes rated the article as satire.
I love the fact that Snopes fact checks like the Onion.
Yeah, I know.
They fact check the Babylon Bee. Like I think the Babylon Bee had one that said Bloomberg is so short he can't see over his shoelaces or something like that. And Snopes was like, I don't think that's correct. Bloomberg wears a size 4 and he fits in them perfectly. I'm like, what?
But it's like impossible to lift yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. You can't actually lift yourself up by your bootstraps. It's actually physically impossible to lift yourself up. I mean, could you imagine? This is like your bootstraps, and if you pull on them, think about lifting yourself up. I mean, we all want to, but we can't. I've tried, and I can't. I can't lift myself up by my bootstraps. Like, what in the heck? You gotta fact check that, AOC? Nah, it's just garbage. I don't know. Half of these.
We will be talking about AOC in just a second here, but while we're on the vice presidential ticket, Bernie Sanders is also teasing the fact that he is possibly talking about bringing Gabbard on as a running mate. This reported by CNN. That, I think, would be the dangerous one because you've got a large amount of religious fervor that revolves around both candidates.
What's Gabbard's net worth? Millions, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to find out. Tulsi. I have the internet, Gabbard. Why does my phone say Gabber?
I don't know.
Net worth. We're going to find out right now. So Tulsi Gabbard is worth probably a buttload of money. So what do you think they do? Oh, never mind. Gabbard's broke. She's only worth $500,000.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured it was.
She foreclosed her house in Oklahoma too. Sorry, Gabbard. Never mind. I thought you were an evil billionaire, and that Bernie wouldn't like you. But apparently, you're not an evil rich person. So maybe you'll do well. Maybe she'll do well. Yep.
Hey, I think your lady's on Periscope.
Really? Mine?
Yeah, according to the live chat. Isn't that her business?
I don't know. Oh. Hi. You are on Periscope. I
That's
think
the first time I've had a Periscope chat come through.
they have letters, though. That's nuts. So that means she's on Twitter.
Yeah.
She's on the Twitter. She sees me on the Twitter. She's wondering if I'm talking about her on the Twitter. Now I am. So now I've got to go to Ed on the Twitter and pull you up. Look at that. Now you're streaming YouTube and the Twitter Periscope all at the same time.
On the twat toilet.
Oh, I think she's gone because I don't see her on the Periscope, but I can make lots of hearts on the Periscope just for fun.
Nice. And it will be enshrined forever in the live chat.
Enshrined of
So,
hearts.
speaking of my future wife, AOC, it appears that she has a primary challenger. Well, she has several at this point, but one of them has actually risen to some prominence, mostly boosted by the mainstream media. Former CNBC host Michelle Caruso Cabrera, as reported by Fox News, has entered the race to try and primary the New York 14 representative.
Hmm.
Now, Caruso, no, first off, why do we have to have so many last names and everything? That's the first thing I gotta ask.
Well, okay. If you were an AOC voter last session, now you see her publicly, do you go out and vote for her again?
No.
No. I think that that's going to be the death of AOC's career. But I think she's going to start an organization. Like, I think AOC, you're going to see start an organization, like a Turning Point style organization to expand. And she's going to write a book.
Well, from what I understand, those organizations don't really work on the left as much.
I don't know. The Young Turks did, but that's mostly because they're funded by foreign entities, you know. But she could get some sort of an organization going. I think that's she has a social media following, you know. But I don't see her being a Pelosi. I seriously don't.
Well, I know
I don't see her.
She's planning on primarying both of the senators in her state coming up in the near future.
That's what I want to see. More of AOC.
Well, Schumer's up next. He's the next one that's actually up, and I know she's already talked about primarying him, but
I want to see like AOC change her name to "See You Later." You know, I think that would be more effective. I don't know. I think we're going to see a weird split in the future years. We're going to see this weird socialist communist movement really take hold. I don't think that it's taken hold in the U.S. as much as it will, and I think that we're going to see a freedom-oriented, more libertarian Republican movement take hold in the U.S. And I think we're going to see the split between large government and repression of rights versus small government and freedom of rights, which is essentially how, I mean, when you think about it, a smaller government, smaller governing figure with less rules, that tends to be the epitome of the Republican Party, you know. And then you have a large government with more rules and more regulations, tends to be the Democrat Party. And I think we're going to see that just manifest itself into a large overseeing entity. We're going to see that dichotomy just continue to grow. So, what you got, Ed? What you got next on the agenda?
Well, that was one of the things too that I've said too. People are saying, could we see the end of our multiple parties or the end of one of the two major parties? And I said, I mean, we're most likely going to move from DNR to L and G. I think in the near future, Libertarian and Green.
I think it'll still be Republican. It'll still be Democrat, I think. But I think that we're going to see. I think the Republican Party is the strongest it's been in 75 years. I think that the Libertarian Party is taking some of the left and some of the right. And I think that the Democrat Party is going to have to make a crucial decision. And people like Sanders that want to split off and be an independent or be a socialist are going to have to decide, do we fly under the billion-dollar Democrat banner, or do we start our own? And, we once had a president in office that ran not as a Democrat, not as a Republican, but as a bull moose and won. So we could have a bull moose party pop up, just pop up for an election or two and win, and then go back down. And I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I think that you're going to see the Democrat Party has to decide whether they want to congruently stay as the Democrats or whether they want to start an alternate association. It'll be interesting.
Well, interestingly enough, and actually playing a bit off of this here, we have one last story on 2020 Watch, and then I promised we're done. You remember the Interstate Compact?
Yes.
So Virginia has become the latest state to cement themselves into the popular vote Interstate Compact, which brings the total number of votes in the compact over 200 for the first time. Now, this is significant here because, as those of you who don't remember would look back and see, the Interstate Popular Vote Compact pledges that all of the states that get involved give all of their electors to the winner of the national popular vote. Their goal, of course, is to try and get the compact over to 270, thus negating the Electoral College without creating a constitutional amendment, something that they have tried and failed to do numerous times, I've found out researching this. First question here, is this legal?
Okay. Article 1, Section 10 says that states can't make compacts independently, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. And they have to have Congress's approval.
Right.
So if we had 2/3 majority, you'd have to still have the Senate's vote and approval on that. So you can have them. I mean, you can have a pledge to separate and make their own agreements, but I don't think that you technically constitutionally could without an amendment, without ratification by the Senate. So you'd have to have a party in power, Republican Party or Democrat Party, that would own the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and then a Supreme Court that tilts in a fashion that would allow it go through when the 6,000 lawsuits hit it. So I don't think it is legal. I don't think it would ever pass either.
Yeah, I do think that there is a chance that, yes, there are all of these lawsuits, but I've also seen arguments to the other side that this could tremendously backfire back in the Democrats' faces. I mean, from what I understand off of this, there are a lot of people in California, Illinois, Colorado, Massachusetts, New York that don't vote because their votes don't mean a goddamn thing in those states. The state goes to the winner of the popular vote in the state, so they just don't go out and vote. They vote down ticket on local elections to try and change things in their regions, but for the most part, for the presidency, they just don't care. And if it goes over to the popular vote, I think a lot of those people are going to start coming out.
There was a controversial compact a number of years ago that didn't really go anywhere, but it was non-binding. It was a milk compact for Maine, I believe. So the northeast section of the U.S., Maine and New Hampshire, had like a dairy compact to kind of control dairy prices. And I think that if there's some sort of a voter compact or a popular vote compact, some sort of a reprise like that it might be non-binding, and they might let it challenge to the Supreme Court, but constitutionally it will be invalid. And it'll just put somebody dropping the hammer to knock it down, that house of cards. I mean, California, I mean, they've had Republican governors recently.
Yeah.
So any compact like this that is not ratified by the states or by their Congress itself can be tossed aside by somebody like an Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger ran, when he ran California, he would have tossed something like that aside. He was a very populist governor. He did what people said. So people said, get rid of this, get rid of this. And so it not being ratified, I mean, it could backfire on him, but more than likely, you're not going to have anything legal that lasts for any sort of time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. That's my views on it. What do you think?
I don't know. Like I said, I think if it came down to that, I think you would see a lot more enfranchised voters in very, very blue states that don't want to see the country go the direction that the progressives want it to go. Because the way that it boils down at this point, this is nothing but a methodology to try, or the progressives believe it's a methodology to try and make sure that they never lose an election again.
Hey, Larry Stouffer, thanks for following me on Twitter. I don't know. I just got a Twitter invite or a follow, and I'm like, who's this guy? So if Larry Stouffer happens to be watching Ed's World right now, thank you. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm tired. I had meetings all day long, and I'm beat, and I really don't know what to say. I'm just I'm worn out. I think that we're gonna kick butt this election cycle, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. I think that we're gonna see a lot of Republican. It's gonna be that red wave everybody said in 18. I think we're gonna see in 20. I mean, we've got Trump at the top of the ticket. We've got Republican policies that have been doing really, really well. We've got the impeachment on our side. And I know you want to talk about the impeachment, right?
Well, before we get into that, there are always three questions that I ask at the end of the 2020 segment.
Oh, right.
So, based on the news stories and the statistics of the previous week, who do you think has the statistically best chance of becoming the Democrat nominee for 2020? Now that we've got some states behind us, too.
I'm going to say Bloomberg. I think Bloomberg has the money and that it's going to go to convention and that he has the power. But it'll depend on how he does on Tuesday. If Super Tuesday, if the ads, like maybe he can only get 15% of the vote in some of these states, then no. It's not going to be Bloomberg. It will be Buttigieg. And I think the DNC is want now. Yep. They're wanting Buttigieg. So probably either Buttigieg or Bloomberg.
Oh, I have another question that I started asking my guests recently. Who do you think in the Buttigieg marriage? Who do you think is the pitcher and who do you think is the catcher?
I think it's that Yama Fago guy that's in your chat.
Oh, he's not there anymore. He's doing his own show.
I know. I think he's one of those two, though.
I think you just picked on him because he can't defend himself.
Yes, 100%.
All right. So the next question, of course, is if you had to have one of these 10 idiots, I'm sorry, we've dropped down 3. One of these 10 idiots that's still running, you had to have one of them. Who is the lesser of 10 evils?
Klobuchar, because if she gets into power, she's completely neutered. Yep. That's pretty much it. If you have to have one, you pick somebody who, I think that she would roll over on a lot of her policies,
You think?
Yeah. I mean, Bloomberg's got an ego, right? And he'd want to pass something like a soda tax or something ridiculous. Klobuchar's been in Washington for many years, but she's not like Warren. Mm-hmm. Warren has a conviction, and Warren would actually want to try to pass some sort of progressive agenda. Like, why is Klobuchar running?
I don't know.
No, I mean seriously. Seriously. I want to see a Klobuchar voter answer this. Why is Klobuchar running? There is no reason. Okay? She's like Warren Light or Biden Light. She's like this weird, I want to be a moderate, but I've been, in politics for a long time and I'm not really a moderate. So she has no real purpose. And that's why I think Klobuchar, if somebody has to win, she would be the one.
Right.
I don't think she get anything done. I don't think she cares. I think she just wants to because she wants to be president.
She wants to be in that history books as the first female.
Yeah, that's it. That's why she's running. So, yeah, that's it.
All right. Last question. No policy prescriptions, no statistics. Just pure entertainment value, purely for the laughs. Which one of the declared 10 candidates do you want to see going against Trump in 2020?
Elizabeth Warren.
I thought you were going to say that Warren. Too.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That would be fun. You remember Trump's shark thing where he like crept up behind Hillary, like done it, And I mean, imagine a Warren debate. Warren would be like, she'd say something like, so we really need to diversify and have the correct. Here, let me grab some peanuts, some real peanuts. They're cashews, but they're peanuts too. I need a beer. I need a beer with my peanuts. And she'd drink her beer. And then she'd go on to tell something about policy, and Trump would just go, wrong. That'd be it. She'd run this whole fake spiel, drinking a beer, eating peanuts. And she has 5 million plans. She'd outline her whole plan. And at the end, Trump would just go, you're wrong. You're wrong. 1,024th. Wrong. You're 1,024% wrong, Warren. And Warren would have to go, oh. Well, what would you do? No, I'm not wrong. No. Anyways, that's it.
All right. Let's check in with the live chat here. Looks like Helton has been busy. So let's see. I know he asked. We just started. Yeah, we ran late there. Amy's showing more than I thought it would be. Predict that Lizzie's out if she doesn't get over 10% in the next primary. John went over to his show. Saint was here briefly. He asked if he missed the strippers. Yes, but Ron can make a dance party with all the DLive stickers. So if you haven't checked out DLive, Saint, why don't you go over there and check that out? I know Ron loves his stickers over there. Tiffany Crystal Photography says, I think typically they have all the letters, though. Ron Helton says, Mini Mike has a death wish. Where's the progressive base the strongest? The larger populated areas? I haven't met any in my area, mostly rural and small towns. Yeah, they don't go into the small towns because they're out of their echo chamber at that point. Well, Buttigieg calls his partner his husband, didn't he? So maybe he is the catcher. They would still need a majority of the senators from the red states to pass their agenda. Yes, that is true. I think many of them would possibly have been physically removed if they passed any more legislation restricting individual liberty.
Wrong.
Warren would be tripping over her own lies. Trump would mention her 1,024th Indian heritage, and she'd be tripping all over herself.
He would say, "You're 1,024th% liar. You're wrong."
I think she's got a bigger percentage of that.
I think that she is the most likely candidate out of all of them. Whoa, something just exploded. That Warren would be the most likely candidate to bring Stormy Daniels to the debate. That's one of the reasons why that would be a very entertaining. I mean, seriously, having Stormy in the debate, I don't know. I just think that would be fun.
All right, so we're not going to spend an hour and 14 minutes talking about this next topic.
Wrong.
So, we might spend an hour. It'll be the hugest hour you've ever seen. It'll be so much huger than China. I mean, China's a big country. I love that Xi Jinping. He's great. He makes the best pork chops. But you know, this will be the greatest hour, the greatest 1 hour session you've ever seen in your life. Your life. Wrong.
Well, I will tell you what is slightly wrong here, and that is the fact that Democrats are trying with all of their might to come up with a second impeachment attempt. Now, they've come up with a couple of possible charges here. We'll talk about the Friday Night Massacre in just a moment here, but you remember, because you actually brought up some numbers that went along with this when I brought this up in the Discord chat. There was a very short-lived story about Mar-a-Lago expenditures and the fact that he wasn't reporting them on a bi-yearly basis like he was supposed to be. So I noticed that disappeared out of the news fairly quickly.
Gone. Do you know why?
Go ahead.
Because it's garbage. Okay? You know how much a night stay at Mar-a-Lago costs? It's like $1,500. He shoved like 26 guards into a little tuna can. All the Secret Service guys went into one room in bunk beds, and he was like,
well, look, there's 25 of you, so I gotta charge you something. Front desk, you guys just deal with it.
And they were like, well, how about $600? Because that's what it costs to feed you this morning. And they were like, okay, 600 sounds good. And the media was like, $600 a night. No, it's totally ridiculous. I mean, like one airlift out of some African country, you know, costs 140 million, but yet they spend $600 a night at a hotel that costs $1,500 a night for one person, and it's a, you know, supposedly some atrocity, some extreme number. You know, I don't know. It's, I guess to the layman, you know, you go, oh, $600, that's a lot of money for a hotel. It is, until you realize the actual cost of these hotel rooms. You know, $16,000 a month for a little chateau cabin out back on the same golf course, and he's stuffing 25 guys into a tuna can for $650 a night. That's a pretty good deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And first class food for all of them too.
Oh man.
You know that breakfast is comped. I own this place.
I bet you it is good. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I know they were up his ass because he wanted to have one of the international meetings there, and of course that was going to be the emoluments clause that was going to end the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then he actually did back out of that one.
That was at Trump Doral.
Mm-hmm.
That was at Doral, yeah. So, okay, it's absolutely nuts. Okay, George Washington was worth like 500 million. You know, he kept everything at his house. Like, he invited people over for dinner and said, you guys got to bring your own dinner. And they'd bring him dinner. You know, it's really nuts to think that, okay. Obama was in office for 8 years, right? Mm-hmm. What did he spend half his time doing? Writing his book. Okay, so he writes his book, publishes his book. But him spending 8 years on taxpayers' dime to write a book, that's not a violation of the emoluments clause, but Trump makes, you know, $5,000 off of this invite to the Trump Doral, and that's a violation of the emoluments clause. Okay, it's realistically it's no different. One person's actually using their assets logically and logistically, and it's a good location to have it. I mean, it was perfect. It would be secure. It would be a luxury resort. It's not his fault that he owns a luxury resort, you know?
Well, he'd be taking foreign influence from a foreign government.
Well, you know, Trump doesn't have a dog.
Yeah.
So the White House doesn't have to pay for dog food. That's saving money right there. How much money do you think that dog that Obama had cost the U.S.?
No idea.
I don't know, but I guarantee it was a lot, okay? I guarantee that dog, little black, whatever it was it I can't remember if it was a poodle or something. Might have been the Bush's dog that was a poodle. Anyways, I bet you that the Obama dog, okay, cost more money than Trump would make by having the meeting at the Trump Doral.
Oh yeah, non-negotiable government contracts. I guarantee it.
Oh man, and I bet you that I don't know. I just think that you got to put everything in perspective. Okay, the amount of money that he would make off the Trump Doral meeting would be minute compared to the amount of money that he makes off of the hotel in Washington, the old post office hotel, you know, the millions off of the old post office versus a few grand from the Trump Doral meeting. You know, he's not going to make any money off of that. It's not a file. I don't know. So, the whole thing grinds my gears.
So let's talk about, as long as we're talking about possible charges for a second impeachment, let's talk about the Friday Night Massacre. Now, earlier on in the week, Trump decided that he was going to reallocate the services of both Vindman brothers who had been working in the White House. This, of course, coming on to the fact that Vindman had testified against Trump, against orders from the commander-in-chief, I might add, in the closed-door impeachment hearings. Furthermore, Gordon Sondland was officially recalled from his position as an ambassador back to the U.S. so he as well could be put his resignation in. And of course, this is going to be known as the Great Cover-Up, because even after they testified, now they are getting fired in a retaliatory fashion, from what they tell us here, and this is the evidence that they need to go through with the next impeachment.
Yep.
What do you got on this? I know you got something on this one.
That the words "the next impeachment" left your mouth is just astounding. I mean, like, think about this, okay? If this was 150 years ago, or like, let's say this were Alexander Hamilton, okay?
Oh, he would have just shot somebody.
Yeah, and Aaron Burr was like, "We're going to kick you out of office," and Alexander Hamilton was like, "No, you're not." And they were like, "Yes, we will. I will take you on the front porch." And so Alexander Hamilton's like, "Okay, let's have a duel." And they shoot each other. And Alexander Hamilton wins, okay? He doesn't take Aaron Burr's brother, John Burr, out and shoot him too. You know, this is not a cyclical thing. Like, we've already been through this cycle. We know where this is going to go. The Democrats' only hope right now is that they somehow flip a House or a Senate. I don't know. I think they should all be fired. I mean, seriously, he can let them go whenever he wants for whatever reason. You know, they serve at the pleasure of the president. I mean, it's like you go to an Olive Garden and your waitress, you know, fills your drink with caffeinated coffee other than decaf, and then adds milk, and you hate milk or something. I don't know. And then you're like, "Oh, I really don't like this server." And you say, hey, waitress, can I get a different waitress? And the server goes, "No, now I'm going to double your bill." You can't do that. You know, I don't know. It's absolutely nuts. It's bogus. They need to get... I think we need to, like... calm down. Just relax. They're all wrong.
Well, let's go back to the last one here for a moment. Well, one of the first things I want to point out on this is that Kevin McCarthy is on record at this point being the most likely Speaker of the House if the House should flip in the next election. McCarthy's on record saying that if he gets the House back, he is going to put a resolution in to officially expunge the first impeachment. So Nancy Pelosi coming out and saying, well, impeachment lasts forever. Well, in this case, it's not.
I think he has to do that. I think McCarthy legally has to do that because, oh man, it's been circulating around the web. But I think it's like Article 2 allows the president to run for a third term if his first term was terminated and tried and he was not convicted in the Senate.
That's been debunked. That is a myth. I looked into that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, okay. Because I've been hearing that a lot. And so I figured that was why they wanted to expunge it.
Yeah.
So
no, that is a myth. No,
sure?
McCarthy just wants to stick it to the progressives at this point.
Are you sure that's a myth?
I am sure. I looked into it.
Okay. All right, I'll take your word. But, Ron, I don't think anything posted twice. You're all good. Don't worry. Looks good on our end. But, no, I mean, I don't know. I think we should expunge it. Then what?
Well, there was no criminal statute that was goes with it.
See, I don't really understand that either, because in a court of law, if you go to court, somebody accuses you of something, and they say, "Not, you're innocent. You didn't do it." Like OJ. OJ didn't kill her. Okay. That's not on his record. I mean, publicly it is, but not in the court system. In the court system, it doesn't say, well, you were in court for murder. It just goes away, it disappears. I don't see why an impeachment would be any different. Legally, it should just go away. I don't know. I guess you could hold another vote in the House and say, hey, I don't know. Impeachments don't last forever. I think they're all nonsense. I think it's gone. It's over.
He's going to be impeached forever.
Yeah. I think Nancy Pelosi needs to... I gotta watch my tongue.
No, you don't.
What do you think, Ed? What do you think?
We got the COPPA thing going on. You don't have to watch your tongue anymore. I told YouTube to take their COPPA regulation and shove it up their ass. Plus, I'm streaming on DLive, so even if they decide to take it and use that against me, we still have another platform. I got more fucking platforms than a disco in 1977.
More platforms.
All right, let's talk back a bit about the last impeachment here. So, a video from C-SPAN featuring Rand Paul saying the name of Voldemort, he who shall never be named, was forced into private mode because of the fact that Rand Paul said, I'm not going to say his name on this stream.
Oh, are you talking about that Merrick guy? Merrick something or other?
Easy.
Merrick. I don't know. I heard rumor of some guy's name.
Yeah.
But my barber the other day? So I was talking to my barber. I need to go get a haircut. Okay. And he has a really good son. Really good. His son's name is Eric.
I've got my finger over the dump button.
So his son's name is Eric. And he just went out to buy a new car. Okay. And he buys his car. And he has kind of this lisp, right? I'm talking to him. I'm like, so Eric, what color car did you buy? And he says, it's a Mela. It's a Mela. And I say, your car's a Mela? And he says, yeah. So I don't know. Eric bought this car Mela thing. I don't know. I think he meant yellow, like yellow. I haven't figured it out yet, but I don't know. Anyway, that was sorry, I got off track there. What were you saying, Ed?
So one of the questions I have, are they, because that's one of the things they've said from the beginning of this is, that's not actually his name. We have no confirmation that this is, but if you can't say his name and you're forcing videos into private over it, aren't you kind of confirming that that's who the whistleblower is?
No. We don't know who it is. Schiff told us that. Schiff said, I've never seen him, never heard of him, never met that Eric guy. My barber's buddy, son, whatever it was. He'd never met him. So, well, I don't know why. I don't know how Schiff knows my barber, or son.
Well, I know Tim Pool came out and he says that he's the one claiming responsibility for the fact that YouTube forced this video into private mode because he actually wrote an email and he narked on the fact that C-SPAN had this up there and had the dude's name on it.
Well, I just got an urgent text. Senator Elizabeth Warren has resigned. No, I'm just joking. No, but she has a new deal. It's called the New Blue Deal, Ed.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep. So she's live in Las Vegas right now. She has a new deal. It's called the Blue Deal. The New Blue Deal. And it's discussing how factories and polluting plants are located near communities of color.
Racist factories.
Yep. That happened.
All right. I got another story over here that this is actually something that you were talking quite a bit about as well. I love it.
You're like, shut up, Jake. We don't want to talk about Warren anymore.
Yeah, we already spent an hour talking about 2020. Let's talk about Roger Stone, though, and the sentencing scandal that came out of this. Reporting from Styx Hexenhammer 666. Essentially, what was coming out of this is that Roger Stone was getting ready.
The beast.
Yeah. Stone was getting ready to go up the river for 9 years as a 70-year-old man, and on his expert opinion, this was the deep state or the Obama holdovers, especially in the DOJ, trying to make an example out of Roger Stone for essentially doing nothing. I mean, for the most part, it's illegal for you to go talk to a foreign entity and then talk to your buddy. We're all fucked. I mean, I know people in England, and I'm going up the river for that then at that point. Well, but I know you had some colorful language that went along with this as well when we were talking on Discord about it. So what did you think about the fact that Trump came in and decided to make a tweet, and then suddenly now the sentence is being pushed to be reduced? Because this is a new crime, apparently.
I think that tweeting should be illegalized 100%. I think that Facebooking, posting on social media just in general, needs to be illegalized immediately.
I don't know.
You don't like that idea?
I don't know. I'd make a lot of my living by tweeting.
Nope. It should be illegalized. We can't have tweeting. How dare you? You might influence some election. Like, like let's say you tweeted something that was pro-Trump and they actually wanted Bernie to win. How dare you? How dare you? Okay?
How dare you?
So, yeah. How dare you? Anyway, so, man, that Greta. Oh, what a gal.
Oh, we'll be talking about her in a bit, too, so.
She needs to win, like, 6 more prizes.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so. No, it's absolute trash. Okay, Roger Stone was facing some bogus indictment. They stormed his house with more guards than I don't even know. Fort Knox doesn't have as many people guarding Fort Knox as the amount of people that stormed Roger Stone's house in the middle of the night or early morning. Okay? It was like 28 armed guys stormed his compound. They could have knocked. He's 70 years old. What's he gonna do? Like, what does Storm have? Or does Stone have some secret army that we don't know about? Residing in the cupboards of his kitchen. Why did they have to go in fully loaded, locked and loaded to arrest the guy? Then they're like, man, we got to press charges. 9 years on him. Okay. When Epstein got convicted the last time, they weren't even pushing for 9 years for Jeffrey Epstein. Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't kill himself.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of this does have an air of they're just trying to make an example out of the guy. Like, you better not dare try and support Trump.
Well, that was exactly it. It was a political threat. It was a political threat. The Flynn thing was the exact same thing. They're saying if you're a Trump supporter, if you're going to be dyed-in-the-wool Trump supporter, we have 6 ways to Sunday to get you. 6 ways from Sunday, 6 ways till Sunday. Anyways, we have 6 different ways to get you, or whatever that turn of phrase is that was it Brennan said? Yeah. So, so it's garbage. So Trump says, look, you shouldn't give him 9 years. And the Justice Department says, yeah, you shouldn't give him 9 years. And then a bunch of people resign over giving him 9 years. And they say, well, maybe we'll give him 3 years. And they say, no, you must give him 9 years or we quit. And then they did.
I don't know.
That's how it went. I mean, essentially, that's exactly how it is. The DOJ didn't even say expunge the sentence. They just said we're going to reduce the sentence and not give him 9 years.
Let him see his grandkids or some shit like that.
Well, I mean, it could have been 3 years. Maybe it was 5 years. They didn't even find out. They didn't even wait and find out to see how long it was. They just quit. 4 of them just walked, and I don't even know what to say to that. Okay, I mean, it was a fit. It was a childish fit. You know,
I'm not a big one for whataboutism too. But on this case, I think it actually fits a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at what it was going through Obama and his AG, Eric Holder. I'm Obama's wingman.
Well, Clinton lied under oath, talking about whataboutism. Okay, he committed perjury under oath. Okay, one of the guys that I follow pretty closely, and I really respect the guy and he's not really a Trump supporter, but I don't know. You might have seen him on TV. He's from my hometown here. His name's Chip Hailstone. He's on a show called Life Below Zero.
Okay.
He lives in Alaska and does this and that up there, and subsistence. He's a pretty top-notch guy. He's got a bunch of kids. He's got a wife, and he really takes good care of his family. Okay, so his daughter got in some trouble a few years back, and there was a law enforcement officer that was, on the verge of doing maybe some illicit things, but a lot of that's rumored too. So he goes to court. Anyways, long story short, he says, I feel threatened. Okay. So they throw him in jail for 18 months for perjury and give him a felony for 5 years probation without owning a gun. He makes his living off of hunting. You kind of need a gun.
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy goes to jail for 18 months. He's away from his family. Over saying, well, we felt threatened. And the judge saying, no, you didn't feel threatened. You committed perjury right there by saying you felt threatened. You're going to jail. Okay. So Clinton goes and commits a perjurious act on the stand live. They go to impeach him, and they should have pursued, the DOJ should have, if they were fair and balanced, which they were not. If they would have actually pressed charges on Bill, he would be in jail. He would have gone to jail for at least 18 months for perjury, right? Okay, so Roger Stone commits some minor non-felonious act, and they want to sentence him to 9 years. Okay, talk about whataboutism.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not even comparable. You're talking about a minor event versus another minor event. One guy goes to jail for a long period of time. One guy doesn't go to jail at all, and then they're convicting another guy on a similar case for 9 years. That's the rest of his life. I don't know. It's all crap. It's all garbage. So at this point, the only prudent thing to do is to disband the FBI and any of the other lying alphabet agencies, says Ron Helton.
He also got the "How dare you" sticker. I know you're not on DLive. You can't see his stickers. Nope. Let's check in with the live chat here. I'm gonna cut the coronavirus part.
Coronavirus.
I mean, more people are getting sick. More people are dying.
Okay, so I was just talking to a media guy live. What do you call it? Like, he's an IT guy. He's gonna help out with some office junk for me, and he just got back from China.
Just got back from China,
and we were all sitting in Chick-fil-A eating some chicken, and he's like sitting there going, yeah, I just got back from China, and I'm really scared because I was worried he was going to start coughing. He looked pretty healthy, but China's a big country, but they do have like 700 million people on lockdown right now. Yeah. That's scary. 700 million.
I know Ron says Roger did nothing. FBI lies to start false investigation. They knew from the start it was Stone lies to the FBI. Lie canceled. A show of force was orchestrated to make Stone look like a bad person and further discredit Trump.
Wrong. He did not discredit the Trump.
How is lying to the lying government even a chargeable offense? Ridiculous. 2 teachers I know are now stuck in Georgia, Russia on their vacation. Flights were canceled. They're stranded until March 1st. Yeah, there's been a move in the coronavirus story, but it's been the only move, and I haven't vetted it yet. But it does appear that they're letting other governments are coming in and getting their people off the cruise ship. But I'm going to vet that a little bit more.
I heard 15 U.S. citizens now from the cruise ship were infected.
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard that this morning. So that puts the U.S. total over 30.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to vet that a little bit more. We'll talk with Britt about that next week.
The Daily Mail has been really good at reporting the coronavirus junk.
Yeah, it also bogs my laptop down to no end because they have.
Oh my God! Ryan Newman had to go to the hospital for Daytona today.
Nice.
Whoa! I didn't look at the news. I've been in meetings all day. Well, Apple stock just fell because of the coronavirus. That's about all I got. Just looking at. Hey, do you know anything about this Fotis Dulios?
No.
Me neither. He's all over the news, though. Fotis Dulos. Apparently he shot himself in his front yard or something. So, yeah, like, killed his wife and then shot himself or something. Accused. I don't know. I've seen him all over, and I didn't hear about him. So, I didn't know if you heard anything about that.
I have
Hey,
not.
what's next? What's next on the agenda, Ed?
Well, let's talk about some of this violence that's gone on among Trump supporters this year. I've got four stories on the stack here. First off, we're going to go right into Florida man, obviously, because they're wacky down there. A Jacksonville man drives a van into a tent that was registering Trump supporters at the time.
That's nuts.
And then tried to say that it wasn't politically, or the news rather tried to say that it wasn't politically motivated.
This is Jacksonville? Okay,
Yep.
Everything happens in Florida. Remember, there's a zombie guy that was eating people's faces off in below bridges a couple of years ago. He's like, ah! And he like was high on bath salts or something like that. Remember that? Then there's this Broward County that everything that can go wrong in that county has gone wrong. They're like the most corrupt county ever. And I think that election lady still works for there.
Yes, she does. That is correct.
That's like absolutely crazy. She totally butchered the last election, but she still works there. Like, what? So Broward County, yeah, and then now this guy drives a van into a tent. I don't know what they're putting in the water down there, but it's something. I mean,
we'll have to go ask the Gen Gap guys.
I don't know. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Oh man.
Now that wasn't the only one either. A New Hampshire Antifa member went up and physically slapped a 15-year-old boy who was wearing a MAGA hat.
Shame.
During the primaries.
Yep. How dare you? How dare you? But that's pretty much. Hey, that's a good Greta.
Yeah.
Probably do it. How dare you?
Better than the one on the video clip I'll have in a little bit here.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that you're gonna see a lot of crazy Antifa junk, which is funny because Antifa's whole thing is let's shut down free speech.
Mm-hmm.
What? I mean, it's nuts. It's like the crazy cat lady with 60 cats piled all over her going, "Oh, I hate cats." Then why do you have 60 cats? She's choking on a hairball over there. I hate cats. It's like, they kick him out of your house. Antifa's like,
we want free speech and we want no violence. So we're just going to bring a bunch of people to stop you from saying what you're saying and throw bricks at you.
Milkshake.
Yeah, milkshakes. Yeah, it was the milkshake thing. Was that Tommy Chong? No, Tommy
Robinson.
Robinson got milkshake. It's nuts. Totally nuts. I don't know. I think the world is going crazy right now.
And it's only going one direction, too. That's the worst part of it.
Yeah. Like, Republicans, we're happy. We're having a good time. Like over here going, all right, we're going to win the next election. Things are going all right. Life is good. And the Democrats, rather than doing what they should be doing, which is calm, reserved. How do we win? Instead, they're like, ah! Pretty much.
Well, at a 50th birthday party in New York City, a retired police officer, which, how is he retiring at 50? I don't know. I don't know if he's bound to a desk or he's actually fully retired here, was seen wearing this cap, which you can get on Amazon, that says, "Make 50 Great Again." And he is, unironically, a Trump supporter himself, which is almost unheard of in the city of New York. But a woman saw the cap, saw the red hat and the white lettering on that, and pulled him off to the side and punched him in the face over the fact that he was wearing this cap. Anything to add?
You've got a red hat that says "Make 50 Great Again," and somebody punches you in the face for wearing a hat. Okay, you're not the problem at that point.
Yeah.
I just want to make that you are not the problem. If somebody punches you in the face for wearing a hat, okay, you're not the problem. So in the 90s, there was a popular shirt that I used to see walking around town, and it had a picture of Saddam Hussein, and it had a bullet hole through his forehead. I don't know if you ever saw that shirt. Okay, it was pretty popular, and people thought that was gross and offensive, but everybody laughed because we had a common enemy, and that was I don't know, a murderous fascist dictator who oppressed thousands and thousands and thousands of people, who simultaneously wiped out swaths of the Yazidis and oppressed the Kurds to the point where they formed the Peshmerga military group and fought him for 30 years for their land that they had contributed and built for centuries. Okay, and everybody in the U.S. hated him, right? So there are people like this out there right now, like the Soleimani character. Okay, there are real bad guys that we are attacking and killing every day, that Donald J. Trump has systematically instructed the military to go after and defeat. Okay. And right now, half of the country is concerned about a hat that says "Make 50 Great Again." What? Like, seriously? Yeah. I don't even know what to say anymore to this. It's nuts.
Well, and this has been going on for a while. And I mean, the last one that I saw in the stack here was that there was a California Bernie supporter that that had attempted to burn a GOP headquarters. I believe it was in Sacramento. And I'm just trying to figure out where this is all coming from, why this is so violent, and why, if we supposedly hated Barack so much during his term, why we never saw stories like this ever.
Why did you never? Why do you never see stories on Crossfire Hurricane? You know, like, Crossfire Hurricane is a documented, factual operation that went on to spy on political operatives. Fast and the Furious was an organization to give guns to cartel leaders. You never heard any of this, you know? And it's because we have a biased mainstream media that doesn't actually want to delve into the juicy truth. You know, so I met with a big group of people today, and a lot of them were young. You know, they're forming a youth group. And they said, well, we don't want to call ourselves Republicans. And I said, why? And they said, well, because the Republicans are the bad guys. Nobody likes Republicans. And I said, why? Because it's the push granny off a cliff party. Remember those old ads? Or, look, the Republicans are going to push granny off a cliff. And Granny's in her wheelchair, her walker, and she's going along, and the Republican guy comes up, you know, it's like Newt Gingrich in a ski mask, pushes her down. Okay, and that was all about, oh, they're taking her Social Security or health care or Medicaid. That's not how it is anymore, you know. Fiscal responsibility has gone out the window. And now the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are both big spending parties. But we've instilled these social issues. And these social issues are, they have become what everybody follows and fixates around. But now we're totally off topic, Ed. Drag me back in before I run out.
That's actually exactly where we need to go, because like I say, we're getting to a point where both these parties are doing the exact same thing, but only one of them is seen as evil. I mean, Steve Scalise went out and got shot rather, by a crazy guy from Illinois during a baseball game. He just went in and started shooting. And you know what the response was on Twitter when that happened? 1 down, 99 to go.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's repulsive. Okay? AOC danced on the rooftops, okay? I wasn't cheering for her to dance her way right off the rooftop.
Yeah.
Okay? I was actually cheering for her to keep dancing. Keep dancing, AOC. Just stay up there. Stay up there and keep dancing.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that too, actually.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is we don't... The mindset on the right is freedom. Okay, we are the party of freedom. Whether it be the Libertarian Party or the Republican Party. And I know that a lot of libertarians will say, don't wrap me into the same ball as Republicans. But essentially, mainstream Republicanism, mainstream libertarianism have their same mindset. And the mindset is freedom, right? It's independence. It's limited control over yourself and the ability to do what you want to do. And the Democrat Party can't say the same thing. The Democrat Party reaches to control, to repress, and to condemn people for things that they do. So we're facing this crucial point where this is all coming to fruition, where both parties are doing kind of the same thing or have been for years. And we're starting to see a divide, and we're starting to see one of the parties fracture. And during that fracture, they're starting to propagate these vicious attacks, and it's what children do. Children on the play yard, except this is actually affecting people's lives. Steve Scalise could have died. I mean, he could have gotten. We had top-notch marksmen on the field. I mean, you're talking guys with 6 Sauer 9s or Golden Eagles or whatever they're carrying these days, standing on this baseball field, shooting across the baseball field at these at this murderer. I mean, that's what he was. He was trying to kill Steve Scalise.
Oh, it wasn't just Steve Scalise. He wanted to take all of them.
Oh, right. I mean, there was a whole team out on the field. But Scalise being the one that he actually sent to the ER with mortal wounds, I don't know. I hope that we can overcome this, and I think we can as a country, because right now we have a 94% unity rating in the Republican Party. Yeah. Democrat Party, they don't have a leader right now, and I don't know if you've ever raced sled dogs, okay, but in a sled dog team, you have your leader, and then you have everybody that follows. But if one of those followers falls out of line, the leader's not going to be able to lead. And if the leader falls out of line, the followers can't follow. So it all works really smoothly when it goes, but when it doesn't work smoothly at all. And we're seeing that in the Democrat Party. They have no leader, and all their followers are all scattered, running different directions. So their sled isn't moving. Their sled isn't moving at all. And that's what causes the dogs to fight with each other. That's what causes the dogs to bark at the other dogs running by them at 90 miles an hour, which the Trump camp is doing right now. And we're seeing these dog fights break out, these vicious dog fights, because the sled can't move forward, can't move back, and everybody's just getting tangled in each other. I mean, you're starting to see the feminist march. Okay, they had the women's march, and there were all these feminists that were marching, and then the LGBTQ crowd freaked out on them and said, well, what, you're not including trans men or trans women in your women's march because we're women too? And then there was this big argument over that. And then last night or 2 nights ago, there was the Bernie had an event, and a bunch of, oh man, I don't even remember what they were, but they were topless ladies stormed his event, dumping substances. Did you see this, Ed?
This I didn't. This is new.
Oh man, I gotta share this with you. So Bernie is doing a speech, and a bunch of, I assume, young ladies, topless, stormed his stage and started dumping goop all over them. I think it was like an anti-fur PETA protest or something like that. Yeah, naked. And Bernie's like standing there like, oh, you're naked, and they're like, ah, vive la resistance or something like that. It was nuts. So they're eating their own. So, and it's wild. It's really wild to see. So I better pull this up. Bernie, interrupted.
I don't know. In the interest of time, I'm going to move this up while you're looking
go
that
for
up
it. Go
here.
for it.
So I'm going to check.
I got it right now.
What do you got?
It was at a Nevada rally, and for some reason Fox doesn't want to load. Okay, a group of topless protesters stormed a Bernie Sanders rally in Nevada Sunday afternoon, throwing paint, fake blood, and water on the podium before security whisked them away. Senator Sanders was speaking at the rally, had just finished introducing his wife as the next first lady when a woman ran up to the podium trying to grab Sanders' mic. A visibly irritated Sanders yanked the mic away. The woman then grabbed another mic on the podium. Bernie, I'm your biggest supporter, and I'm here to ask you to stop propping up the dairy industry and stop propping up animal agriculture. I believe in you, though. And then the mic was cut. Sanders excitedly exited the stage, and then a chaotic scene unfolded, with several women, at least two of them topless, joining the first woman on stage, throwing various liquids all around the stage, and then security intervened. 3 women were arrested for indecent exposure by the Sanders team. Anyways, so it was an anti-dairy rally. How dare you drink dairy? Cow's milk. So apparently naked women are meant to instill fear in the dairy. So don't drink milk because naked women will come to your house, Ed. Ed's like, milk does a body good. Anyways, sure, but seriously, like, they stormed Bernie's rally nakedly and shut down his rally just to say, don't drink milk. I don't get it. They're eating their own.
I don't know.
They're eating them.
Ron Helton says they're facing a 14-day quarantine when they return to China. Foxconn must have lost some of their employees since the Apple stock went down. Yeah, Foxconn is a bit of a sore subject in this state. Yes, the guy was high on bath salts. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And they started the milkshake attacks in the UK, then they've copied them a few times here. Yeah, weren't they putting, like, corrosive cement. Concrete?
Yeah, concrete. They're putting concrete in their milkshakes.
Well, it wasn't like concrete, like they were trying to dry it so that it would be like a brick or something. It was like the quick drying kind, so it would be alkaline and corrosive. So you get chemical burns off of it.
I think it was twofold. I think they're taking like liquid, pouring the powder in, and then throwing it, so it would get stuck to everything and then stay stuck if you didn't get it cleaned off right away. I think Andy No or NGO.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think he got milkshaked a few times and punched in the face, poor guy. And I thought he was kind of not necessarily a super staunch right-leaning guy, Then all of a sudden he gets milkshaked and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm voting for Trump. I don't like these milkshakers." I don't know. I like his work. He does good work. Andy however you say it.
You can't pronounce his last name, but you think he does good work.
How do you say it? Is it's NGO? So is it go or is it
no?
Ngo?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I knew a guy growing up named Dean, and his name was spelled DNE. Yeah. He was a total great guy. I like this guy. He's like a 6'8" black dude from Boston, and he just talked so smooth all the time, like the world was great. And I'm like, Dean, you're just so happy all the time.
Well, I've got some video to close out this show here, so we'll watch some of that here. The first one here is, I know Linda B is going to be really pissed when she finds out that you were talking about this, because she wanted to talk about this on my show. Samantha B decided to go on a...
Sorry, Linda. Sorry, Linda.
Samantha B decided that she wanted to go on a tirade against prominent conservative host Dennis Prager and his university. This has sparked quite a bit of backlash from fans of the university and even people who are detractors but don't like Samantha B. So I'm not going to play the whole clip. I cut it down quite a bit, but let's look at the highlight reel of what we have going on here.
But while Fox continues its lifelong quest to scare your grandparents into hoarding Franklin Mint coins, one growing conservative outlet is using colorful graphics and social media to appeal to a new generation. But don't worry, their videos are very normal.
Murder. Is murder wrong? Is it evil? How do you know?
Liberals, the research tells us, are generally more outgoing, more likely to try new stuff. They're open to new ideas, though not school choice or flat taxes or a market-based healthcare reform.
I want fairness generally means, look at me, I'm a nice person.
The left is destroying the Boy Scouts. The power of the visual to excite men has no analog in women.
Oh, honey, no, that's not women. That's just you. If you're not familiar, the clips you just saw are made by a conservative media outlet called PragerU, which itself is short for Prager University, as in their own website saying, Prager University is not an accredited academic institution, but it is a place where you are free to learn. That literally describes every place. The last place I learned something for free was in a bra store, and what I learned is that I have been wrong for 35 years. PragerU is actually a massively successful part of a growing hub of the online right-wing media machine. They have been funded by GOP mega donors, and their videos are specifically aimed at middle school and high school children. Even worse, those videos get billions of views. Meanwhile, my makeup tutorial videos are still stuck in the single digits. And all of those views are from me and one guy who keeps asking me to put makeup on my feet. Okay? Like and subscribe. PragerU gets those views the same way a lot of YouTube channels do, by producing short, fun videos that are mostly hosted by the worst people.
What's up, guys? This is Will Witt with PragerU, and today we're back with Storytime with Will.
Dennis Prager even recently made his own documentary with comedian and knockoff Joe Rogan, Adam Carolla, called, and this is the actual poster, No Safe Spaces. I guess it's either about the First Amendment or crashing your bus out of a college. Anyway, 90% of their budget went to that poster. PragerU itself continues Dennis's love of right-wing celebrities, using conservative experts and stars to add a veneer of respectability to the site, legitimizing much of their shitty and factually untrue commentary. I mean, just look at some of the experts they've got.
I'm Pete Hegseth.
I'm Greg Gutfeld.
I'm Tucker Carlson.
I'm Mike Rowe.
I'm Yakov Smirnov for Prager University.
With this strategy, the site's videos can present some truly batshit ideas.
If sex doesn't mean anything, why would any woman feel violated by an uninvited touch?
So when Planned Parenthood says it's devoted to women's reproductive rights, what it means is it's devoted to aborting as many babies as possible.
If God were depicted as female, young men would deem traits such as compassion, mercy, and care for the downtrodden as feminine, and would not identify with them.
Come on. The important thing isn't whether God is a woman or a man. The important thing is that God is hot. Finally, for once in my life, I want to feel the Lord in me. Yet, thank you. That was classy. PragerU is actually dangerous. They're reaching a new, younger audience with bullshit conservative propaganda. They trick kids into thinking their videos are educational, even though PragerU is as much of a real college as Monsters University. If your aim is just to scare people, at least one of them offers you an actual diploma.
All right, there's a lot to unpack there.
I think that woman needs Jesus.
Apparently she wants to feel Jesus.
What did we just watch? Okay, so it's just so peachy that she's sitting there going on about they used most of their budget on this infograph. And I'm sitting here going, you have a budget? You know, like, seriously, her viewing... The amount of people who view her videos has to be like, I don't know, what did she say, 3? I mean, but seriously, that's like her whole viewership. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Okay, so she bashes them because they have people like Mike Rowe. Oh yeah. So Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, he's not some college, Harvard educated professor, but you know, I don't know. He's only devoted his life to learning and knowledge and understanding concepts that she never in her life has understood. And does she really think that there are these elitists, these coastal elitists watching her program going, "Oh, you're so right. You're right, Samantha Bee." I don't know. It's absurd. That woman needs Jesus. That woman needs like oh my God.
Well, you think, and this is something that's been considered. I actually had to look up how old she was because I didn't think she was that much older than me. She's 50. And the first thing she learned is that she's been wrong about her bras for 35 years. You think she's such a bitch because she's had her tits squeezed for too long?
She's 50?
She's 50.
Wow. Way to go, Samantha Bee. No wonder she's on TV. It's like, I mean, come on. She can't compare to the halftime show at the Super Bowl, but, you know. No, I mean, seriously. Who thinks like that? Okay? PragerU is out there promoting an intelligent counter argument to these groups like the Young Turks, okay? And they're drawing in a youthful young audience that it doesn't quite understand the world. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of young folks who don't understand how the world operates. And PragerU is helping to educate those people and explain it to them. And Samantha Bee trashing an organization like PragerU, it's sickening. It's sickening. It's just fascist. It's fascist. Antifa needs to go visit her rally. You know, her audience needs to go. I don't know. They probably are the same. I don't know. But that's about all I got. I don't know, Ed. What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of like the ending. Well, if your point is to scare people and call yourself a university, there's Monsters University, and there you get an actual degree.
You know, Samantha Bee is 50 years old and watching Monsters University.
I've never seen Monsters University. You probably have because you have kids.
I do. I got kids, so I've seen it. But that's my point, okay? If you're 50 years old and you're kicking back at night and you're like, man, let's watch some Disney, okay? If you got kiddos, I understand that. But, like, grow up, Samantha Bee. Grow up.
Well, I mean, this is the same woman, too, of the fame of, well, Ivanka, from one mother to another, I want you to curl up in your daddy's lap and do something about your father's immigration policy, you feckless cunt. Same woman.
Is Samantha Bee still relevant? I mean, what's her viewership?
Well, I think that this video got considerably more viewership than anything else because of people doing this.
Because everybody from PragerU was like, what the heck?
Not even just PragerU. Christensen did it. Lauren Chen did it.
She's nuts. But I don't even know how to find her. How do you even Samantha Bee? Okay. Oh, wow. Top result is Samantha Bee PragerU. Okay, so she doesn't have 1 million subscribers. She's got 990,000, but she's on TBS.
Yeah, that's why I had to blur it so bad. Because TBS would have been after me.
I'm going to go Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, 4.3 million. Oh, he's on Fox News, I guess. So, I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's just like look at the difference. I really don't want to talk about Samantha Bee. You know why? Because she's a loon.
A Canadian loon. She's from Canada.
Yeah. And what is up with all these acronym people? AOC, Samantha Bee. I mean, I understand it's BEE, but you know what I mean. Like J. Edgar. What is up with you guys?
I don't know.
Raving liberals. The lot of you.
Well, I got one more video here for you. The same comedy troupe.
You totally dodged that.
Of course I did.
Don't put me in that boat.
So the same comedy troupe that was behind the prank call from Greta Thunberg to Maxine Waters struck again this past week. This time getting a number out to Bernie Sanders, which he called himself. And some hilarity ensued, and I think that he actually might have broken some campaign laws here. I included some of that in here.
1 second. Did you hear Bernie Sanders actually publicly announced his Social Security number the other day, though? Like live on stage?
No.
Yeah, some reporter yells, "Hey, what's your Social Security number?" And he's like, 3. I mean,
I missed that.
No, he did. It was an old joke because he's old. He's like number 3 to get a Social Security number.
Oh, okay.
See, yeah. All right, that's the sign that I'm tired.
All right, let's see what these Russian guys had to say.
Hi, this is Senator Bernie Sanders calling for Greta.
Yes, this is Swanza, Greta's father, and Greta is here.
Hi, Senator Sanders.
Hi, Greta. How are you?
Fine. Nice to meet you.
It is
nice to talk to you. Nice
to
talk to you.
Well, listen, thanks for the opportunity to chat. And I just wanted to congratulate you on the extraordinary role you are playing in rallying young people and people throughout the world on this terrible, terrible crisis of climate change.
Oh, thank you, Senator Sanders. Thank you so much. And I want to say something to you. So my friends in the United States, as well as many stars of show business, have said a lot of good words about you, that you are the person who is now mostly needed, not only in America, but in the world.
Well, thank you very much. Well, look, I think, why don't you tell me for a moment, you have been all over the world, I know. What kind of responses are you getting? Do people, young people, understand the severity of the problem?
We think that the problem is big corporations.
Yes, because everybody thinks that everything is fine and there is no problems outside.
Well, you're doing an incredibly wonderful job, and I'll tell you what gives me a little bit of hope. Well, let me just say, one of the very sad things that's happening now, you know, as you know, we have a president of the United States now who not only does not recognize the crisis of climate change, but he is actually encouraging more production of fossil fuels. He's doing exactly the wrong thing.
So we can cooperate together.
We would like to help you in your campaign in some way. What is the best thing to do?
Well,
now, I got to stop that there and point that right out there. Is that not foreign election meddling?
I mean, Bernie Sanders is practically a Canadian anyway, so I don't know if that. I don't know if I think he is the election interference. No, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. Like, remember those guys who called Schiff? And they were like
the same guys.
They're the same guys.
Mm-hmm.
See, they're like the Yakov Smirnoff that supports PragerU. They're like Yakov Smirnoff of, I don't know, of this day and age. It's fantastic. It's great. It's perplexing. It's entertaining. It's great. I don't know. I love it.
If you would like to help in our campaign, that would be wonderful, and we would be very appreciative because you have generated so much excitement among young people and all people throughout the world. You are admired very, very much. I don't know, are you planning to be in the United States in the next few months?
We will be in February.
Yes.
Well, that would be great, but if you wanted to make a statement in support of our plan and my candidacy, I would be very appreciative. If that's something you feel comfortable doing.
we can do that.
Okay, that would be wonderful. We would appreciate that very much.
By the way, we have a great idea what we can do together. I think it would be useful for your campaign.
Yes, so we had some idea. My friend, singer Billie Eilish and rapper Kanye West are also fans of you. So they are world stars, and I asked them, and they would like to do a cool rap and shoot a video clip. In this way, you will be able to tell young people about your program.
They would be willing to do something on the internet on that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And if we want to make the video successful, we need to put there a lot of expensive cars and girls, and I think, and you need to wear gold jewelry and chains. It will be nice because young people love like that.
Okay.
Yes. And you can move your body faster, like.
There you go.
And
all right. Well, thank you so much, and keep up the wonderful work.
I would like to ask you to cooperate with the person who we love too. I mean, Peter, who is your competitor.
Oh, Peter
Yeah.
You talk about Mayor Pete Buttigieg?
Yeah, right. We think that me and Greta think that he's a good vice president. Could be.
Okay, well, I will take that under advisement.
So about your trip to Yaroslavl, did the KGB record you where you be there?
A record of me in Yaroslavl?
Yes.
I think.
It could.
I honestly don't. I don't know if there's any video at all.
At the end of the conversation, I want to tell you exactly how to win the presidential race. Then in the Soviet Union in 1988, after you were recruited, you were programmed to work for Russia, and your memory was erased, so the CIA wouldn't track you down.
Excuse me? Is this what you believe?
Yes. You become a sleeper agent of the KGB. Yes. I know that you were a sleeping agent, and now it's time to wake up and fulfill your mission. Become president of the United States, build communism in the United States, and work for Russia. I'll tell you the code phrase and you'll remember. Babushka, Balalaika, Putin, Babushka. Immediately after that, Russian hackers will begin an operation to bring you to power in the United States. So you understand, I'm Komsomol member. I follow the precept of Lenin and Stalin.
Look.
I don't really know what to say to that.
He bought it up until the end.
Russian hacking bears. And let's get Billie Eilish to play with you and you wear chain. Like, what? At what point do you start going, oh my god, Greta's 12? Like, seriously?
She's 17, first off.
Oh my goodness, that's insane. That's insane. Are we sure this has been verified?
Yes. That's the craziest part. This is verified.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, Kanye West, that would have been the... oh. That was a lot of peak on my end. Kanye West, that would have been the tip for me.
Wow.
Because Kanye is a Trump supporter. He's a Trump guy.
Wow, that's all I gotta say. Okay. Hacking bears. I love the Russian hacking bears. That is great. I mean, first off, you're Bernard J. Sanders, okay? And you're sitting in your office. You know you're sitting in his office, and he's like, I get to talk to Greta Thunberg. I don't know why he turned into the Godfather all of a sudden. But anyways, he gets to talk to Greta, and he calls, and some guy answers like, "Yes, I'm Greta's father," and like, I don't know, the Ukrainian accent didn't tip him off. It's not like he hasn't spent a lot of time in Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, when the Ukrainian guy answers the phone, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't just go, "Yeah, tibia lublю." And Bernie's like, "You love me? What? I thought you were Swedish." You know, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Original gangster. Who's
original
this original?
Ico? Welcome on in. I know you're catching up right at the end here.
Is that like? I mean, you can just like give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Is that like that? My grandma said to your grandma, "I set your flag on fire." You know that song?
No, I don't know that one.
What? I go like on a nay, talking about hey now, hey now. Hey
well,
now.
You're not on D-Live. You can't see all the stickers. They've got the thumbs up on there.
Jackie Maffino, anane, Jackie Maffino, no?
No.
Ed, what have you been living under a rock for the last however long it's been since Rain Man came out?
I have Rain Man on VHS on my shelf. I've never watched it.
Oh, you've never seen Rain Man? That's like one of the greatest movies ever made.
And I have it on VHS and no way to play it.
Oh, man. I've got Patriot games on VHS.
I just read that book.
With no way to play it. Yeah. We started watching Gangs of New York last night. Have you seen that?
I have not. That's on my to-do list, though.
Oh,
that one
man,
I actually do want to
Netflix.
see, so.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix. Opening scene, pretty violent. Yeah, like on the scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 12. I mean, I guess you don't see any guts, but you see people getting hit with like axes and stuff. It's pretty gruesome, but it's a good movie. I mean, it was pretty good after that. We watched about a good 45 minutes or an hour of it, and then switched over to something else because.
Well, I got a couple other things I want your take on for the news, the entertainment news for the week here. But I do want it on record that I have rendered Jake speechless. The guy who always talks, I have made him speechless. With one clip with Russian bears in it.
Russian bears? Like... and you've got Sanders just going, "Oh yes, I'd like to have you on. I'd like to talk to you," and like.
I will link you the full clip because that was like only half of it. There's more.
Oh, I watched till the end, but at the Russian hacking bears point, and then he hangs up the phone.
No, I cut half of that clip out of there for time purposes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I will get you the full call for that. I'll put it in my Discord.
Oh, man.
It's about a 12-minute call.
What?
Yeah, there was 5 more minutes of that call.
10 minutes on the phone with somebody who isn't, like, what? Okay, when are these people going to learn to Skype? I mean, like, genuinely, like, seriously, Greta Thunberg calls you up. You're going to start being like, hey, Greta, we got to Skype, okay? Because, is it really you? Like, what's the password? Like, do you know the safe word?
I think she gave the password at the end of it.
I don't.
You are a Russian sleeper agent. I will wake you up now.
I know, but he needs to, like, they need to have, like, there needs to be a universal code word. Like, if you are actually Greta, like, blink twice or something. You know, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Like, we have entered the upside down. All right. Everything that was once true is no longer true. We have monsters that are constantly invading our everyday scope in the form of comedy. Okay? Like, every single phone call Bernie is ever going to be on from now till eternity, he's going to think, oh, is this a spy? You know, is this some other person? Who is this? I mean, like, this comedy guy has just single-handedly hacked every Democrat.
Well, I was going to say, he got Schiff and he got Waters, too, so.
Well, I mean, Waters. I think you could just offer to sell her a new cowboy hat and you'd get her right there. But that's about it.
All right. So did you see the study this past week of that shows that leftists are most likely to have mental illness?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we saw evidence of that on that last call there.
Okay. That's where that stands. I mean, when you reside controlled by your emotions, obviously you have something wrong. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and there are a lot of people out there. I mean, but mental illness, I mean, all jokes aside, there are people with mental illness on both sides of the aisle. That's just a fact. But that bar graph that I saw that did statistically analyze it, you know, yeah, I mean, I think that
well, we look at some of the stuff that we
talked.
talked.
Words. I'm stuck on dancing bears. Okay, bears that hacked Bernie's servers. Okay, we're not talking about Hillary's bathroom server. We had they like literally were hacking into Bernie Sanders. Okay. Okay.
Well, I mean,
all right,
we look back at some of the stuff we talked about tonight, and I mean,
yep.
The violence against the Trump supporters, the Jacksonville guy, the New Hampshire Antifa member. Plus, we see the calls like this, and we watch that absolute train wreck of a Samantha Bee sketch. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
And to further cement that last point, my last story that I have here is that Mr. Carlos Maza, Vox Adpocalypse himself, decided that after he got fired from Vox, he wanted to join the people who he fucked over on the ad revenue. Maza has joined YouTube. Privately.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And
we have entered the upside down. That's like Steven Crowder just one day decide, you know what? I've been shadow banned by YouTube for too long. I wonder if Google wants to hire me. No. I mean, like, if Socialists for America went out and Ronald Reagan accepted a, standing invite, I mean, seriously. What? I don't know.
Now, the former Vox employee decided, yes, this week to unveil his brand new YouTube channel where he will continue to do political commentary as he sees fit going forward. He does not have an official schedule drawn up or any details out. I believe his only video that he has out right now is just an introduction to his channel. But yeah, this is the guy that fucked over half of YouTube. And now he wants to be on. And of course he wants to be on there to make money.
Oh, naturally.
Because there's so much alt tech out there that, I mean, after he fucked over YouTube, there's so much alt tech out there he could have gone to. He could have made a Minds. He could have made a BitChute.
We hate money, though.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Crowder, he just popped up on my screen. And it was a video of Crowder and Bernie. What is the likelihood of that? Are you listening to me, YouTube? Are you listening to me, YouTube?
They are listening to you.
They are. They hear me say Crowder. They see it pop up on my screen from original Aiko on A. And all of a sudden, they're like,
you must like Bernie and Steven Crowder at the same time.
That's probably it. I don't know.
I do enjoy Steven Crowder's Bernie impression. I don't know how he did a whole show like that, dude. I was tired listening to it.
Yeah. He is just like... screaming. I can't even do it. I can't do it, Bernie.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to, because in like another, I don't know, year and a half, Bernie will just be asleep all the time. So my Bernie impression, when you start getting up there into your mid to late 70s and you're as jazzed as he is, it's only a matter of time before you sleep. Take lots of naps every day.
All right. Well, I think it's 10 o'clock. We still want to go support John over on the RRC. So I think it's time for us to. I think it's time for us to wrap this up here. So thanks to Original Ico. Fine. Thanks Ron Helton. Thanks Yamafago. Thanks Tiffany Crystal Photography. Thanks for everybody else who came in and contributed in the live chat here.
I contributed.
Yeah. And the last question we always ask is, now that you've got your new career, maybe you have some more time to do some hobbies here, but tell us a little bit about something that has nothing to do with work or politics that helps you unwind at the end of the day. It could be a movie that you're watching, remodeling project that you're doing, just something that helps you not think about the politics or the career.
Oh, my life is politics now. I got a new knife. Look at this thing. I fiddle with it a lot. So it's a new fillet knife for fish because I'm going to go fishing this summer a lot. I like to fish a lot. My wife bought me a new knife set, and we got some other stuff that we're going to do. I'm hoping this year is going to be a good pike year because it's been fairly warm this year for us out here. I want to go fishing. That's all I want to do. Okay, I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit, get out there in my little boat, cast out a couple of spinners and see what happens.
Well, we'll have to get you out on a big boat this year.
Do you ever pike fished?
No, I do salmon fishing in the
What do you
Lake
have
Michigan.
out there? You guys probably have what do you have out there? You guys probably have muskies or something in your little
That's over
lakes.
on the riverside, but usually when I go out on Lake Michigan. So
got Flathead Lake. That's pretty big. That's a pretty good sized lake out here. But I think it's the largest. What is it? Largest natural freshwater lake west of the Mississippi. That's what we're on. And I want to go grouper fishing. But yeah, so I fish quite a bit. I like fishing.
We'll talk off mic because we might have to get you out on a big boat sometime this week.
We might have to go fishing. I think I'm gonna go bear hunting this year though. Maybe if I can get away from the office for a little while.
Well,
3 days and go.
I want to thank everybody that was out in the audience for checking us out on YouTube, BitChute, and Periscope and Twitch. All of those, not BitChute. This would be the replay. Wow, I have been going for a while here. YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, DLive. Thanks for checking us out live over there. And if you couldn't catch us live, check us out on YouTube.com, on BitChute.com for the replays, or you can check us out on FreedomScoop.com. Check us out over there as well. All the replays will be available there. Or if you'd rather take us on the go, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Remember to subscribe on your audio platforms. And if you're on iTunes, leave us that 5-star rating and a good review. That helps defeat Apple's algorithms and helps us build up an audience over there. So make sure you leave us that review as well. As I mentioned before, we are partnered with the Freedom Scoop Media Group, and as soon as we cut the live feed here, we are going to support another one of our great podcasters over on the RRC doing his first interview over there with him. That's a great interview. I'll be looking forward to catching up with the rest of it afterwards, but we'll be going and checking out there. You're invited to go. I'll get the link up in my Discord for that as well. Otherwise, you can go over there, check out The Generational Gap. You can check out Stephen Ignoramus. Looks like we've got a new show coming up, so check out Roundtable Decision. Check all of us out over there. Leave us some love. Check out our merch store. Buy our stuff. We always really appreciate it. As we always say on this show, never take the words of bloggers, podcasters, or journalists as gospel. Find all the facts and draw your own conclusions. Jake, I know I've left you speechless already this day, but why don't you give us a last word?
Dancing bears that hack computers. Fantastic.
Wrong.
Take care.
All right, there you go.
Take care, everyone.